View from the South Stands, coming to you on Sunday after TFC's loss late Saturday evening in Los Angeles. That's it. No wins or any points in the Pacific time zone this year for the Reds, except, of course, for the draw in Portland a while ago. Other than that, the Reds have never gotten a point this season. In Seattle, they didn't get a point in Los Angeles on 2 occasions. And, of course, they got that draw in Portland, and that's about it. So, mathematically eliminated from the Major League Soccer playoffs, as pretty well everybody suspected they would last night. Anything but a win, and a win with help would have kept Toronto FC alive last night. But now that the win didn't come, and Juan Pablo Angel scored his 9th and his 10th goal against Toronto FC in all competitions, in Major League Soccer competitions, I should say, over the years, in his time with New York, in his time with the Galaxy, and now in his time with Chivas. No opponent has scored more goals against the Reds than Juan Pablo Angel has. I was disappointed last night, not so much in the result. The result really didn't terribly surprise me. This has been a season of road disappointments, perhaps more than anything else. I think here we are in late September. The leaves around me here in downtown Toronto are starting to turn brown and fall off the trees. And the Reds have one road win to actually look back on this year in Major League Soccer. It was a nice win in Columbus, of all places, ironically, but it's one win, so I really didn't expect much last night. One of the other things that really disappointed me as well is the fact that the Reds, if you look back on it, the Reds have only ever had one 3-game winning streak in all of Major League Soccer in their entire 5-year history, and that was way back in the early part of Season 2, back in mid to late April of 2008. They beat the Galaxy away, they beat Kansas City, and I think Dallas at home, or Colorado at home, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, they got 3 games on the hop, and they've been a picture of inconsistency ever since, considering that we're looking at over 4 years now where there hasn't been another 3-game winning streak for the Reds in all of Major League Soccer. That was, in general terms, a bit of a disappointment. But I think more than anything else, what disappointed me last night was the fact that Aaron Vinter continued his approach of quote-unquote going for every game. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try and say that there wasn't any validity in what he was trying to do. He's a professional. He's been around the game. He's played the game. He's been coaching the game. I'm not going to sit here and second guess the approach in general terms. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. I get what some pundits are saying, that it's important that the team gel, it's important that the players build on some of the positive results, and we have had some positive results recently, a couple of games notwithstanding, last night being one of those notwithstanding games. I get that it's important to try and build on the positives, and familiarity with each other actually helps the team gel, it helps the performances. I get all of that. But last night was not the place to continue that, in my humble opinion. I think playing Danny Koevermans for 80 minutes was a mistake. I think playing Julian de Guzman for as long as they did was a mistake. I think not starting Terry Dunfield, a player who's not available for the game on Tuesday against Pumas, was a mistake. I think playing Richard Eckersley for the full 90 minutes was a mistake. I get that there's a perception out there that the team has to go for every game, especially with season ticket renewals and whatnot, in the pipeline right now. But come on, a Saturday night game in Chivas on Gold TV, a channel that not a lot of people get. I don't think a lot of the thousands of people that are actually, sitting up in Section 123, they're paying $1,000 for a seat renewal next year per seat. were up late watching that game last night. I understand if it's at home. Even I understand that it will probably be important to actually play your best 11 at home for the sake of perception and appearances. I get that. But last night, I think what Aaron Vinter did is one of two things. He either, number one, made the chances of getting a result against Pumas, which is going to be hard anyway, that much more difficult by playing those players the way that he did and the time that he did, number one. Number two, he's opened himself up to criticism. The only thing that's going to keep Vinter away from almost an unnecessary amount of criticism is a win versus Pumas on Tuesday at BMO Field. A draw or a loss, and he's going to be looked back, and people are going to say, "Hey, what the hell were you doing? You actually didn't play. You shouldn't have played those guys as long as you did. You did. We lost the game, and here's why." Pumas is a great team, and Toronto has a realistic chance right now of getting into the knockout stages of the Champions League for the first time. A real significant accomplishment, and it's an accomplishment that this relatively new TFC side, with all of the turnover this year, this relatively new TFC side that's had good results lately since Kouvermans and Frings have come aboard, for example, among other players. If he doesn't get that win, people are going to be saying, "Well, what the hell were you doing playing all of the starters in Chivas in a game that really didn't matter a hill of beans?" So that, I think, was a significant disappointment, and I think it's a major blunder on the part of Aaron Vinter actually taking that approach. One of the other things I thought was interesting as well is in the post-game video that's up on Toronto FC TV. Vinter talked about how tired the club looked in that post-game piece with Andy Petrillo. Doesn't that actually defeat the entire argument of playing those players? If the players are tired and they're coming into the biggest game of the season on Tuesday, isn't actually playing those guys the way that you did, Mr. Vinter, actually exacerbating that situation? I think it is. But then again, who am I to actually say so, other than a guy with a blog, right? So, it's get on the flight, get back to Toronto today at some point, decompress, get back on the horse tomorrow, get down to BMO Field, and try to find a way of actually getting a result against arguably the best team that the Reds have ever played. Cruz Azul last year is a great team. I think Pumas is as good or better than what Cruz Azul were. And they have to do it without Terry Dunfield. They have to do it without Eric Avila, who's cup-tied. They have to do it without Torsten Frings, who's out on a yellow card accumulation as well for that game. Their destiny after the loss at Pumas, their destiny is no longer, and Pumas' win in Dallas, their destiny is no longer in their own hands. They need a result. They need a win against Pumas on Tuesday, and then they need a result against Dallas later on in October. So the hope on Tuesday is that Dallas beats Toro, and they essentially lock up qualification at that point, or at least a good chance of qualifying. We beat Pumas here, and then in the last game we go to Dallas. Dallas has nothing to play for, and hopefully and they're getting ready for the MLS playoffs, and then hopefully TFC has a good chance of actually securing enough points there to get through. They've got to win out, and I think, again, with all due respect to Mr. Vinter, I think you made the difficult prospect at the best of times for the Reds to actually get one of the most important wins in club history this coming Tuesday that much more difficult by that somewhat stubborn approach that you took Saturday night at Chivas. Oh, I wish I could be more optimistic. I like to look at the glass being half full rather than half empty, but last night, the approach, not even the result doesn't bother me anymore, but the approach that was taken was a real significant disappointment to me and to many other fans. I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope that it doesn't prove to be the issue that it very well might be in what is, of course, upcoming the biggest game this season, at the very least, and one of the biggest games in club history this Tuesday at BMO Field. I'll be there. I'll see you all there, and I'll have more posts up about the Champions League match against Pumas over the next couple of days. Thanks very much for watching, and you folks have yourselves a great week, and we'll see you on the video blog, of course, early Wednesday after the Champions League game on Tuesday. Thanks again. Cheers.